everyone, and welcome back to my channel, What the Beck. One of my, I don't know if it counts as a goal, but one of the things I have in the back of my mind for this upcoming year is just to use my wool stash, because I have a bunch of really pretty fibers that are not yarn yet, and I want to use them not only just to make the yarn, but to use the yarn in projects. So I figured I'm gonna kick myself in the butt to use them by making this video where I go through my wool stash and other fibers that aren't yarn yet, and we'll just go through them and see what I have. Now, I did have to move all the supplies from my upstairs studio to this living room area near my couch, so I kind of know what's in there because I sort of reorganized them, but this is more just like, I don't know, I'm going to share with you what colors I have and what ideas I might do with the finished yarn and stuff. So anyway, let's start with this one, which might be the most boring, but we'll see. This is the undyed fiber bin. Now, yeah, pretty boring, honestly. Some things are labeled, like this is some mohair, I guess, and it's labeled that it's for spinning and felting. It was a $2 grab bag for 1 ounce from Scrap, and that's why we love Scrap. I have some Polwarth in here. I believe I bought this at a fiber festival. I really like spinning Polwarth, so I'm glad to have that. I'm not sure if these are dyed or not, but I put them in here because I didn't have space in the other ones. But these are actually cotton, and I got these from the Sterling Wool Mill. It's just a really pretty brown color, and I have never tried spinning cotton before, and I've heard that it's very difficult, so I got these for, I believe, like $1 or $2 each. And yeah, I'm gonna try spinning cotton. Maybe I'll do a whole video about that. Then I have some alpaca, and these are also from Sterling Wool Mill, different browns, and I got a bunch of these because these were like the mill end bags where I believe they make like skeins of yarn from each of the like animals that they have, and then whatever is left over after a skein of a certain size, maybe they just put in the grab bags. So I got a bunch of those. They're just really pretty, like chocolatey browns, and I really like the alpaca. I've only spun a little bit of it so far for a different project, which I'm doing a video on, but I don't know, I have like a work roadblock on it emotionally, so I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get it out, but I like using the alpaca, and I think I prefer using it without mixing stuff into it, which is kind of a hint for the other video, but you know. Then I just have some straight up just roving. This is wool roving from Sterling, another from Sterling, some more like wool and alpaca odds and ends in here from Sterling. And then I have this, which is heavy. I got this back when I still used Amazon for, well, anything really, but when I used Amazon for like pet food and litter, like scheduled like rebuying of those, I had some other thing I wanted to get, and then I needed to add one more thing to get free shipping because I don't pay for Prime. I never paid for Prime. So I just got a pound of wool roving. So I figure 16 ounces. If I ever wanted to do a sweater project, this might have me covered. I don't know what brand, not brand, yeah, I don't know what type of wool this is, like what sheep it's from, but I have a pound of that. And then finally I have these, which I believe is 8 ounces of Rambouillet, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly at all, from Sterling, and I just thought it was so fluffy and beautiful, and yeah, I'm excited to try to make something with that. I don't think I'll necessarily always dye my wool before I spin it, but I did get a lot of these just to have something to play with my dyes. And I actually was able recently to invest in like a starter kit of colors of acid dyes. So we'll see how that works out, because the food coloring Wilton set, it seemed to me that I should just buy the regular acid dyes instead of all the food coloring dyes. So yeah, that was box number 1. Now, before I had this system down here, I was storing some wool in my kitchen pantry with my dye stuff, and I forgot, and now I can just move them over here. Basically, I have this like pencil roving, I think is what it's called, with some sparklies in it, little gold stellina or whatever that is. And then I have these, which are also from scrap. So this is Romney, and it is cleaned and washed from what I can tell. Maybe I'll need to wash it again. And then I found this, which says raw fleece. So like, I gotta learn how to clean fleece and stuff. And I thought that could also be a fun video of like, I cleaned a fleece for the first time. So I'm gonna put those back in that bin, because that's where they actually belong. Next up in our orange bin, we have what I have labeled as dyed chains and add-ins. And that is like the premium stuff. So like, not just a ball of roving, but like something that they've chained up and like made it look all pretty, and then it gets you and your eyes go and you have to buy it. Yeah, so that's these. This one is really pretty, like galaxy colors. This is from Sterling. It was originally in a ball, but I changed it up because it's like a similar style to the other ones, and I was running out of room in my balled up single color roving box, so I got that one. I think I got 4 ounces of that one. I then have something from Create Yarnworks, which I've bought from this business a few times now. I'm always really happy with their stuff, but this one, I don't know if it has a color name, but I think I got these like 2 for the price of 1.5 or something in like a clearance sale at Maryland Sheep and Wool, because I know I got both of these at the same time. This one says fire on it, and this one doesn't say anything on it. They both have really subtle like sparkles in them, and I don't know what I'm gonna make, but the yarns I make from both of them are gonna be in the same project. I think that would be so cool. And these are merino and nylon. Okay, next up is this one. Really pretty, kind of like by Pride colors. It's really vibrant. Again, I don't know what to make with this, but I will make something. I need to spin the yarn. Maybe I'll do like a fractal with this, because I think that could be cool. It's not like super, what's the word, uniformly dyed all the way through, but like, I don't really, like, who's gonna care? But there's that one, really pretty. And I have 2 of these actually. These were from scrap, if you can believe it. Whoops. They are from Flying Goat Farm, and they are 60/40 Polwarth and silk. So I know I'm gonna have fun spinning this. And they're just called Rainbow. Really pretty, and I'm hoping that just spinning singles, 1 from each, and then plying them together will make enough yarn to do something. I don't know, 8 ounces. I'm still not super familiar with how much yarn comes out of how much wool, especially because I do a lot of like scrapping things together and like making my own bats and stuff. This one fell on the ground. So I'm like, maybe this will be a good experiment for me to see how far I can get with the wool. Now the last chain in here is from Walnut Farm Designs, and it is merino wool, and it's called Hawaiian Dreams. It is so pretty, and I'm so worried about spinning it because look at all those pretty colors. I don't want it to like get muddy. So I was gonna see about learning to spin from the fold and then like practice and then try on this one. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, there's that one. I've had this one for like 2 years now since I started spinning, and he intimidates me, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so this doesn't really count as a chain, but it's like a manufactured product for spinning. I got this glitzy art bat. It is wool, mohair, silk, and glitz from Beaver Creek Yarns. This one I believe I got at the Alpaca Festival. Look at that. Again, can you tell like the colors I lean toward is like blue and purple. So yeah, I got this one for like 10 bucks, which is honestly a steal. Let me see if I can open it up a bit. Yeah, there's like all sorts of like add-ins and things in there. So that is definitely like an art yarn type thing. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm gonna do something. And then in here we have some more add-in things. These are just some like more defined like curly locks. And I also have this grab bag of colorful locks from yarnhero.com, and it's Cotswold. Again, I don't know what I'm going to use these for. When I got them, I was going to make like mermaid amigurumi and then like use these as hair, so maybe I'll still do that. But I don't know yet. They kind of scream art doll to me. I don't want to put them on a wearable because then if you wash it, it'll get like screwy and not curly anymore. I also have stuff to ply with, so I have some like cotton threads, and then this, I have no clue what this is. Gold Gimp. It doesn't say what it's made of, but I have a ton of it. And yeah, there's that. Then I have bat supplies. So like this is, I believe technically they're like, they're meant to be used as embroidery thread, but it's not. It's just glittery stuff. I have yellow glittery stuff, raspberry tickle glittery stuff, and then this is more of that first stuff. So that's the like fancy bin. Teddy wanted to say hello, and now he wants to leave. Okay, here we have dyed wool loose for carving. So like this is the stuff I'm probably most likely to blend together. I can use them to just make their own singles if there's enough, but like you know, whatever happens happens. To start off, we're doing the bag of shame. This stuff bleeds. I was using a spindle to spin this for a while and I gave up because it bleeds so bad. So I think I'm just gonna need to like wash it really good and then I can use it again. I also have a habit of getting felting wool and using them in my spinning, which is probably not that good, but like, you know, it's wool. You just card it and then mix it in. So I have a bunch of different little bits of that. I have blue and orange. I have these really pretty Ashford collections, pure New Zealand wool, Corriedale, for felting, spinning, weaving, and knitting. I have a neon pack and a pastel pack, and I got these from Clover Hill Yarn Shop. So yeah, that's where I go to my knitting group on Thursdays. And if you're in Maryland and you can get there on Thursday, go there and you can meet me and we can hang out and become besties. But yeah, this one in particular really inspired me. I want to do like, whoops, obviously not with that small amount of black in that one, but like with additional black. I want to make a neon plied with black that like the neon just continually changes color. And then these are just my normal colors, so I had to get it. I think they were doing like a discount if you bought two or something like that when I bought them, whatever. Then I have these, which I believe were marketed as for felting, but you know, I do whatever I want, and they're really pretty rovings with just a little bit of color variation in there. Super cool. You've got yellow. You've got really dark, like turquoise color. and a decent amount of that. Oh, here's another of those, like, kind of variegated tonal rovings. Green. I got some light blue. Actually, I think I got that when I got the turquoise one. This one, I am not entirely sure what it is. I don't know if it's acrylic or not. I honestly cannot tell. Just bright yellow. And then I have this stuff, which is like super shiny and navy blue with like all sorts of colors of glitter in it. I have different greens. I have red. I have some more of that like little felting bits. And then I have my souvenir from Sterling Wool Mill, which is like this really pretty raspberry pink color. Okay, now the green one. This one is loaded up. This is my like recycled trash into treasure bin. And yeah, so this one is called acrylic bats. If you can't read that, that's what it says. And basically I would take thick acrylic yarns and turn them into just like loose fiber so that I can spin them and make them either longer or mix them with stuff and do things for cheap. This was before I found all this wool for like bargains, so I still have some to work through, and it is fun. And honestly, to try new techniques like long draw and stuff, it's nice to be able to practice on the acrylic. So yeah, there's that. So let's just go through this. I have this one, which I don't know if I'm going to try to spin directly from it. This is actually a woolen acrylic blend from KC. It's 50-50 woolen acrylic, and it's thick. And I can't tell, it looks like they made it with plies, but the plies are so loose that's like you could probably just rip them apart anyway. And I was gonna try to like really increase the yardage of this color and then make something with it, because it really reminds me of my character Pop Rock. So there's that. I have this, which is sold as a thick yarn that is made of acrylic. This is what people would do those like arm knitted blankets from. It's a really pretty like plum burgundy color. It's like eating all the light in the room. But yeah, these are really easy to spin from. I have these, which are, oh, so much of this like turquoise blue that I got forever ago, and I've actually made some finished projects with this fiber before, and yeah, I'll see if I can put a picture of it on there. Again, if I just found a really thick loose yarn that was acrylic, I got it, because at Scrap they have them for like 50 cents sometimes, or like fill a bag for $5 or something. And then even if it was something like this, where like, can you see there's like 2 plies, I would untwist it and separate the plies and like brush them out. And that kind of brings us to what else is down here. This is a big bag of brushed out, or not brushed out, but like pre-separated plies. So I would just put these on my carding board and brush them out and make them into fiber again. So I have a lot of that. I should really do a big project with those. This is some more of that, like pre-brushed or pre-cut fiber. Got more in here, purple and pink and red. And then the ones that I've fully brushed out and just turned into fiber, I also have those in here. So here's like a cream color one. This is like pink and brown and stuff. This is like mint and purple and dark orange. I have some more of this really dark orange, similar to that plum one, which actually These would probably go together pretty good in like a fall themed one, so maybe I'll do something with both of them. And then finally we have a bunch of brown. This might actually be wool. Let me feel. Let's feel and figure it out. This might be in the wrong spot. No, these are acrylic. It's just in a bag from something else. Yeah, grays. So yeah, that's how I kind of recycle the acrylic that can be spun. I enjoy spinning it just as much as wool, and it really depends on what the project is going to be in the end. Because again, if I'm making like a gift for someone, I don't want to necessarily tell them, hey, and also you can only hand wash this for the rest of your life. But like, I'm gonna keep spinning, so why not spin the acrylic and then give them something that's easier to care for. Blue bin is kind of the emptiest. I don't really want to take everything out of here, but I will just show you and explain. So first we have my yarn Swift that takes things from a hank and turns them into a cake with the combination of my caker, which is on my couch and I'm not getting up right now. I have a kit with felting stuff in it. I have a brush for when I'm doing carding to help push the fibers down into the carding. What are they called? Teeth? I have this to put under stuff when you felt on it. I have a little teeny tiny nitty noddy that comes out to 1 yard for each wrap. I have some spindles in here. A really light spindle with that blue that you can see it stained the wood because that blue just leaked so badly. And then this was my first spindle that my dad made for me. It's very heavy though, so I don't use it that much. I honestly don't use much of the spindles anymore. I also have like extra bobbins and stuff for my e-spinner in here, and then when the e-spinner is not in use, it goes in here. And there's some like extra bits and a card for like the twist and stuff. But that's this one. I also have some dowels in here just to like wrap singles on if I'm using the drop spindle, but then I need to ply. I don't have like a lot of spindles to like ply separately, so that's this one. Number 6, the final bin is the hand spun yarn bin, and I'm gonna try to go somewhat quick with this, but we'll see how that works out. So here's an example of what I've made with that blue acrylic. Here's one where it's plied with itself, and here's one where it's plied with another ply made entirely of recycled acrylic that I blended together. Yep, super pretty. Okay, then this is like my most recent one. I did this from, I think it was just one of those big, thick acrylic, like rovings. Really pretty, variegated, purpley blue yarn. This one is like mustard. These were from back when I was learning how to use my spindle. I made that one, and when I was learning to make my e-spinner, I did this one. Also have my shrimp yarn. This was the first yarn I ever spun on my e-spinner, and it looks like shrimp to me. Then I have these that are little, just some breed samplers that I got, and I'll show you this one because it's easiest to see. But basically, at the Fiber Festival, they'll give you a little sample. So like this one is Swaledale, Icelandic, and Welsh sheep. And then you can spin them and see what like breed you might like to buy more of. This is just like 2 commercial yarns plied together to get the feel of plying, but it's still in here. We got my first yarns I've ever made on the spindle. Honestly, I may go back and unply these and spin them thinner, because the original plan was to make a Pooh Bear with these, and these are way too thick to make an entire Pooh Bear, and they're also some of the first yarn I've spun, so they're not very consistent or anything, and I think getting more yardage out of this wool would be really good. So maybe that'll be a project I do later. I do have some ribbons hanging off of these because I entered them in the fair, so maybe I'll keep like a little sample of them to attach to the ribbon. But yeah, I want to use my stuff, and these are not getting used in the state they're in. I have more of that blue stuff from the acrylic, which honestly I could probably make an entire garment out of how much of this blue I have, even the stuff that's not spun yet. I have these white to pink and white to orange variegated roving that I turned into this, which I really want to make a hat with, but I feel like I'd have to stripe it with something to make sure it stretches all the way. Make like a lesbian pride hat from like my artisan collection in my shop. This is 100% recycled acrylic, so I turned all those acrylic vats into this. This was a pre-made bat that I just spun, and I spun it really fine. I'm really happy with this one, but it's got really cool different shades of like yellow and blue and red in there, and the purple. This is another one that I'm like, I know what I'm gonna make with it, I just need to do it. I was gonna do like a cowl with this one, and you can't see it super well in the hank, but it is, it's kind of like a gradient from yellow to orange to red to purple. This was my first time working with something that had like silk neps in it, and I was getting so frustrated, but it was just because I was trying to spin it really thin. Once I figured out that like you don't always have to spin super thin, I love this one. Next are my two favorites, and I'm guessing you can see why. This is really bright neon pole bark. It is super chunky and delicious, and I love it, and I really don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm sorry. I have no clue, but it's so pretty. And then this one actually won me a $25 prize from the Sheep and Wool Festival itself. It is just really thick, chunky rainbow, and it has it's plied with threads that have little sequins on them. So I don't know if you can see any of the sequins, but they're there. And yeah, that is my wool and hand spun yarn collection. I hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know in the comments if you're a spinner, what one of your favorite yarns you've made was, or let me know what you need to use up from your stash this year, because honestly I really need to use some up if I'm ever gonna buy any more wool, which of course I am, but you know, we're trying to be more sustainable and have an output that is somewhat similar to our input. But yeah, that's about all I have. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and leave me a comment if you have anything to say at all. Even if you don't, you can just leave me a little yarn emoji, and let me know if you were working on something while watching. Tell me what you were working on in the comments, because that's super cool. I saw that Faded Wildflower does that on her videos, and I was like, wow, that's like the perfect engagement thing to say. Anyways, I'm gonna go to therapy, and then I'm gonna try to get myself to spin on that project. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.